streaming the levels from the CD constantly on the fly. There's no loading time involved.
Uranus is littered with extra crispy bad guys. You might want to send somebody up there to hose the planet down. Either that or have a bake sale.
Hello there, AlanStarWarsFan here. Welcome back to this issue 3, part 2. And that was the creating of Blasto. Now it's time to go through the event center, which you'll be going to see more about E3 and also the Tokyo Game Show. Oh yeah, and there's a cheat I wanted to show you too. It's about the 2nd anniversary of the PlayStation. And gotta admit, look at that cake. That looks really good. You know, I think I'll get my mom to make that cake for my next birthday. Yeah, that looks awesome. Good job, whoever baked that cake. Nice job. Alright, on to the videos.
What would you do if you could go to a place where gaming was appreciated for the awe-inspiring experience it is? Where up-and-coming games were yours for the trying? Where you could feel the electricity in the air? If you're anything like Brad Lynch and Christopher Gordon, you'd know exactly what to do. Play till your thumbs bleed. Brad and Christopher are 2 PlayStation Underground members who happen to live near Atlanta, the site for this year's E3, the world's largest gaming show. E3, also known as the Electronic Entertainment Expo, annually brings together top interactive companies. In fact, over 400 exhibitors from around the world participated in E3 this year. Excitement was contagious there, and at the center of it all was the PlayStation. Our display was the size of a football field and allowed 220 people to experience upcoming PlayStation games at the same time. We weren't just content to be one of the largest exhibits there, we had to be the best. So we did whatever it took, even putting showcases off the ground to pack more into our space. Of course, the PlayStation Underground made an appearance too. With such a great setup, we had to share it. So we decided to invite Brad and Christopher along for some fun and gaming. Naturally, however, they weren't the only ones at the show who were playing. All in all, the two found the show not a difficult experience to take. Thanks for playing, guys. Ever wonder what video gaming is like in Japan? The PlayStation Underground flew over to Tokyo to attend Japan's premier video game show and to check out the gaming atmosphere in the land of the rising sun. Unlike at E3, America's Video Game Expo, the Japanese public is allowed in for one day to get a first look at all the upcoming games. As the excitement built up, so did the crowd, which wrapped all the way around the convention center to the other side of the nearby freeway. Quite a turnout. When the doors open, the rush for the games is on. The Tokyo Game Show is like E3, but only about half its size. However, nearly all of the major video game manufacturers are represented. As we made our way through the show, we could tell which games were the potential hits by the lines forming in front of the kiosks. And of course, the game companies go out of their way to capture a visitor's attention. After the show, we decided to do a little game shopping and check out gamers in their natural habitat. In Tokyo, there is no better place to do that than in the Akihabara district, a 1 square mile shopping area that is to consumer electronics in Japan what Rodeo Drive is to fashion in Beverly Hills. You can get a game fix right on the street. Our conclusion, here at the center of the PlayStation universe, almost everyone is a player. And in Japan, like everywhere else, the #1 system in gamers' hearts and minds is PlayStation.
Well, that's it for the event center. Now let's go to the next section, download station. We get 2 different cheats. The Ogre Battle, they can get like the endings, or power-ups I think. And Dynasty Warriors, you unlock a character that you have to do a certain code, but at least you can get it for free. There you go. So that's it for that one. Alright, okay. let's go to research and development.
This is a really cool controller. It really has a lot of flexibility in the sense that, as in previous games you've created, they supported digital. What we have with the analog is you're able to now fluidly control your game in many different ways. We're starting off in digital mode, and as you see, I'm accelerating. In every bit of turning, I'm actually hitting my directional button. And then when I brake suddenly. As I start in analog, I have a finer control of my driving. As you can see, I can slow down gradually as well as accelerate at a quicker speed. If you see, if I brake, I can gradually press on my brakes and slow down. What we have first is your digital mode is indicated without a light being shown. And right now it supports your standard controller that exists today. If we put it into the analog mode, indicated by the red light, we now support these features. And we can control the game itself by moving the joysticks. What happens is the developers may have the option to use these as optional features, such as maybe the car honking or looking in reverse.
So here at Activision, we're really stoked to be able to use the analog controller, especially for Apocalypse in particular. Our game involves 360 degrees of movement and firing. So with the D-pad, you can hit, pretty much anything you need. But with the analog controller, if you want to hit 22.5 degrees to shoot the guy in the corner room that's trying to take you out, all you have to do is put the controller at 22.5 degrees and you got him. And I really don't think anything can offer more control than that.
So here at Fox, we're working on this new game called Croc, Legend of the Gobos, which features this lovable crocodile who lives in this full 3D world. The Sony analog pad makes a whole new experience compared to a digital system where you have to rotate and move forward and rotate and move forward. But once we switch in the analog system, you're just moving really fluidly.
In Crash Bandicoot 2, we are using all of the analog joystick capabilities. If you want to walk slowly, you just push the joystick a little bit. Basically, just point it in the direction you want to move, whether you're walking or riding a jetpack. I'm really excited to be able to bring this to PlayStation owners throughout the world. What they'll find is that the PlayStation is just as capable of doing free-roaming, dynamic 3D games as any other hardware system.
At China, we've been waiting for years for a new input device to be made. But Sony, by making this dual analog controller, have really made a huge difference to the feel of the games. Last month on Underground, I was playing Porsche Challenge. I played it using my normal joypad at home, and then Sony sent me one of these in the mail, so I plugged it in. And my first go, I got like 5 or 6 times farther in the game on my first try. And it was simply because you can set the angle of the wheels of the car, just like you're driving a real car, by the pitch of the little sticks here.
The analog controller allows you, the player, the ability to have finer control in your game, not just on and off, but all the points in between.
Yeah, what I'm really excited about is that we can do this on Sony. We don't have to go do it on Nintendo, but I probably shouldn't say that.
For that one, now it's time for tech questions and answers. Okay, I want to show you a cheat really quick that won't be accessible because of the freezing disk thing. In the car archive, you can get the staff photo. So, how's CD disc made?
How are those black PlayStation CDs made?
We get this question all the time, so let's get to the answer. We're at Sony Disc Manufacturing, Springfield, Oregon. It's 7 a.m. and they've been up all night making PlayStation CDs. We got a camera inside to find out how it's done. Security is tight because valuable master CDs are made in this room. It's a delicate process. Check out the protective gear. A stray speck of hair or skin could bring a game to a screeching halt later. Your game came from a developer on a special gold CD as a series of zeros and ones, offs and ons. A laser reads this pattern, then flashes off and on to burn it into a glass master disc treated with photosensitive film. The disc is rinsed. The parts of the film that have been exposed by the laser wash away, leaving a series of pits and bumps in a track. This track is so narrow that a single strand of your hair would cover 40 of its rings. A laser in your PlayStation reads the track, and computer chips convert the zeros and ones into the graphics and sound of your game. The actual CD starts here as a handful of plastic pellets. They get melted. The hot plastic flows into a stamper where it's pressed with the track of your game. Black ink is added to the plastic to give the CD its distinctive, cool, PlayStation-only look. This also helps protect the CD from illegal copying. A thin aluminum coating allows the laser to reflect off the track and read it. And another machine makes sure there are no defects. Not all CDs make it. This material wasn't quite right. It's headed for recycling. Next, artwork is added through screens, one color at a time. Ultraviolet light dries the CDs between colors. Automatic guided vehicles, or AGVs, move the CDs along. They help a staff of just 375 employees turn out over 6 million CDs a month. That includes games, computer CDs, music CDs, and more for all kinds of companies. Sometime tonight you'll go to sleep, but CD manufacturing plants like this won't. And somewhere, hot plastic is flowing, people walk around in shower caps, robots are on the move, and the next hot new game for PlayStation is headed your way.
Well, that's it for this disc. Stay tuned for part 3, and we'll show you more demos and videos as we go. This is AlanStarWarsFan. Have a good one. It's time to game over.